Today is the 6th of the 9th, 2021, and we're going to be looking primarily today at Bitcoin analysis. But in some of the market watches, we also cover altcoins at request from the rest of our community. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but also hit the notification bell as well, so you can keep up to date with all of the latest market watches from Block. And also all the news with Blocks, and of course the amazing Reggie's Dojo sessions, where he does awesome tutorials and tells you how to make lots of money from different strategies. Very cool. Anyway, we're going to be looking at two different styles of time frame today. One is the 1 hour, one is the daily, and short term, long term, to help us give a bigger picture of Bitcoin. It's been very exciting over the weekend. Usually we're so used to seeing horrific dumps on Sundays, but we had a refreshing change yesterday and a pump out of a key resistance, which is great. Anyway, in front of you, you can see the 1 hour time frame, and we'll work from the top down. Right up here is the time zones, and handily done in Hong Kong, England, USA, or just trying to separate the world into about 3 equal markets where they'll kind of have a predominant effect when they come online, mainly. So at the moment, the USA is not online yet, so keep an eye out for that one when they do. Commonly, the USA tends to follow the trend in which direction it's going. Asia tends to actually buy the dip quite well, which is what I think may have happened last night and inspired this quite big pump. And the Europe, just quite savvy conservative traders will just follow analysis quite well. Anyway, moving down on the Alpha Momentum, which is this here. Of course, if you want access to any of the Alpha Suite, then all you have to do is join Premium, and it gets included for free. That's right, we don't charge anything extra for the Alpha Suite on top of the Premium channel, which is pretty cool. But what's being flagged here as well is on the Alpha Momentum, the way that it works is it takes the altcoin volume, the Bitcoin price, and also Bitcoin dominance, merges it all together through some very fun and amazing algorithms, and it helps give an identification of which way the market's likely to go. So if there is lots of volume flowing into the alts, Bitcoin price is going up and the dominance is going down, that's usually an indication that the market is going to pump. And as we can see here, we've got a couple of short-term and longer periods green arrows and suggesting that the market is going to pump, alongside a volume-centric bullish divergence, and that was pinpoint and it pumped pretty hard there. So right now, alts are looking like they are going to be going in quite the bullish direction. You're assuming there's going to be no major FUD dropping, which hopefully there's not, but we have seen that happen a lot before. So where are we going with the price? Well, as you can see on here, the blue line indicates my price predictions. Previously it was pretty bang on. It actually exceeded where I thought it was going to go, but we've broken out of this descending triangle, stayed on this upward trend line, and also gone into what's forming basically a bit of a bull flag right now. So we're consolidating, and we also actually caused a CME gap to form overnight. And what that basically means is the price just kind of basically it occurs when there's a massive pump, and it will leave a massive gap that's not filled, and there's quite a high chance of that price or that gap always being filled. So it's based on kind of quite speculative trading. We also down here as well have a weekly pivot that is unfilled. So a couple of things just to keep an eye on, although I don't think they're going to dictate the price too much in the short term. That being said, September is historically, over the past 4 years, a red month. So hopefully we can break that trend as well this year. So right now we are seeing a consolidation forming, and we need to figure out which way it's going to go or what might happen next. Like I said, with this key trend line that's coming in, I am expecting, with the traditional style bull flag, the price to descend a little bit. Maybe half fill this CME gap and then bounce off this trend line here, which is also some key support just there as well. So the only problem is on the volume profile, we've got quite low liquidity between about 52k and 51k, so we could actually shoot down there quite quickly. If you're leverage trading, make sure that you have a decent safety net in there, otherwise you could get stop hunted quite nastily. Although beyond that, once we bounce off here, we should enter into a bit more of a longer term consolidation period, most likely in an ascending triangle format. And again, it exposes us to, if we break down on this trend line, then we can see quite a sharp dump. Now based on the volume profile as well, we see the key bunch of volume set around about the 50k, which is kind of no surprise. So I think even if we do dump down from this trend line, whilst it'll be quite sharp, I don't see us going really past the 50k unless there is some quite horrific FUD news and sell-off. So again, use this trend line as a bit of a indication of what's going on with the market. That being said, if we do break down, I think that could be our red September that comes into play. Looking at some of the other indicators as well on our volume, we've gone a little bit oversold on the BPT index and also the RSI index. For those of you that don't know, the BPT index is the BlockParty Trading index, a kind of personal built algorithm that works similarly to that price strength, relative, RSI style, but it's got quite a few more background tweaks in there. Anyway, it works pretty effectively. That was showing, indicating that it was oversold, and we've done the best possible thing, which is start to consolidate in that period, and it kind of brings that down a little bit, enabling a further pump up. So a good place there. That summarizes basically the shorter term outlook. I foresee that we're going to be going to 55k all being well, but we'll have a look on the longer time frame as to why I think that price is going to be coming in. So here we have the daily time frame, which is the longer term look at it. My price prediction from the 23rd of July, right back here, still remains the exact same. Well, I say that actually, my target has adjusted slightly from 60k down to 55k. And the reason being is, if we look back here, when this whole FOMO started to really kick in, I say FOMO, like the kind of consumer traders FOMO, so think about the people that know absolutely nothing about Bitcoin, or they've heard of Bitcoin, but they don't know what it is, what the applications are, or really where to buy it. And of course, with PayPal in the US coming in, it gave access to buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, I think Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. In the US, I'm not too sure. I know that that's definitely what it is in the UK. But this is when people would have started to really buy in, and you can start to see the swings coming in around this price zone. And what would have been happening there is people would have been buying in and selling out quite quickly, or buying in and thinking that this is going to the moon, when all the institutions are like, okay, cool, we're starting to see this as a pretty likely top for this cycle. And then they start to do these sharp sell-offs, at which point the consumer traders panic as well. They sell off, and if they didn't catch it at that point, as you can see here on the, I think that's the 19th, or around about that horrible May time, when they sold off there, a lot of these consumer traders would have, not through being a smart trader, but I think through being quite thrifty, would have held on to their trades at 55k and been waiting to sell it at 55k when it comes back. So I think there is a huge amount of volume sat there waiting to sell off, and I think there's going to be quite a big rejection, kind of correction rejection coming in there, which could be pretty nasty. Looking up here at the actual alpha momentum as well, we're seeing a green arrow pointing up, which is great news on the daily. I mean, these arrows are usually very significantly strong, with indicating a chain, like what alts are going to be doing. And as we can see here, this arrow coming down, it's pointing, if we don't have any alt charts in front of us, but they work in confluence with what the alts are doing. So very cool. This divergence didn't really have too much of an effect. Yeah, it dipped down a little bit. We saw a double bottom and it continued on its path on the way up. Otherwise, like I said, the key targets to look out for now are 55k. If we break down on this rising trend line, then yeah, that's cause for concern. It could lead to a bit of a red May. We are not overextended too much anywhere at the moment. So again, I've got no real kind of worry for a major correction right just yet. Otherwise, keep it safe. When you're using leverage, don't keep it too tight. We're starting to see a few biggish candles appear, and they will take these trades out if you're operating too tight on them. Anyway guys, that basically summarizes today's Bitcoin analysis, or MarketWatch should I say, but it was focused primarily on Bitcoin, so I can say Bitcoin analysis. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Of course, we have just launched our DEX files today as well, which is a look at all of the new tokens, ICOs, ultra low market caps, NFTs, everything that is in the wild west of the crypto sphere. We have a dedicated channel site now, so check it out on www.blockpartytrading.com. It does come with a hefty disclaimer though, that you have to understand what you're doing and what you're getting into this. We are not there to hold your hand, we are just there to point you in the right direction. Until next time guys, always remember, patience pays.